So this is the second part of the series. As I said in the last part, today we're going to be making a simple texture mod. I'm overall going to be going over everything about texture modding in the Frosty editor and how to use the texture viewer properly, and explain what the different types of files are. And we're going to be, as an example, we're going to be making a simple Isaac level 1 suit mod. We're gonna be making it whatever color we want, and then in the next video we're gonna be going over how to compile the mod and put it into the game. Very easy. I'm gonna do that as a separate video because it's a very important step. All right, so first let's go ahead and actually just create a new project, because obviously it is possible to compile a mod without having even a project saved here, but I'm still gonna do that. We're gonna be doing it. Oh yeah, I already have one, YouTube test project, and I'm gonna just call it YouTube test 1. All right, so let's go ahead and try to find this level 1 suits textures. So typically textures in the editor are, if we look at something over here, like the eye textures, they are the types, or they are the type of texture asset. And as I've shown in the last video, we can use the search bar, for example, to only look for texture assets. So we can type and then texture asset, so we can only see texture assets across the whole data explorer. And this makes finding textures way easier if you're looking for something specific. I, however, will not do this right now, because I already know where the suit textures are. And the suits textures are in-game assets, expanded, characters, bodies, and in here we have the textures of the bodies of most important characters in the game, and obviously all about Isaac suits. So as you can see already right here, we have level 1 and level 1 NPC. We obviously want the level 1. You can ignore the materials, parts, and parts Isaac right now. The textures are obviously in the textures folder. And in here we have the textures for the several different groups of the whole suit. So when we double click helmet packet 0 here, the texture viewer will open, and we can have a preview of the texture. Now we have the admittedly annoying checker box in the background, which we can all navigate in the top left right here. And this is the button show checkerboard background. You can disable this so you can actually properly see the texture. This button right here, override display of linear data in gamma space. Honestly, not important. I'm not even really sure what this does, so you can ignore that. Usually no problems had with this. And we have the mid-map scaling. This is basically just if your PC is a bit, if you want to look at lower resolution versions of the texture, if you want to look at a beautiful Minecraft version of the texture, you can go ahead and do that. Of course, we want to look at it in its beautiful 4K format. And in here, we can switch between the color channels and also turn on or off the alpha channel, which will show the transparency. Now, usually in this game, the 0 texture asset is the color texture, the texture what you will basically see mainly, right? This defines how the texture looks like, and it's the main important texture. As you can see, we also have 1 and 2. We can see that this is some sort of, I believe, normal map it's called. I'm gonna be honest, guys, I'm not very good with 3D graphics and all the different types of textures. But when we check it out, we can see that this is definitely something like that. And this applies to almost every texture in the game. Same for 2. If we disable alpha, we can see that I believe this is a normal map. And yeah, that is pretty much how these files look like for most of the textures in the game. You have the 0 base texture, and 1 and 2 responsible for different types of texture types which will appear on the mesh, add more detail or depth, etc. Either way, I'm gonna be making all of these 4 main textures into a simple purple color. We're gonna make a simple purple suit. So when we click on the texture, we can export it or import it up when we have edited one right here. We're of course gonna export it. When you want to export it, you can choose different file types. Now, PNG, you usually don't want to use this when your texture has an alpha channel, because PNG interprets the alpha channel as part of the texture as well, so it's going to break a bunch of stuff. So only use PNG when you're modifying a texture that doesn't have transparency. TJ is honestly the best out of all of them, no problems, simple to edit and open in most programs. And yeah, HDR is I think it's used for like special textures, type of textures which are responsible for special reflections, such as cube maps. And DDS, as far as I know, is literally the original texture that you would export from the game. You can do this, however, it's the most complicated one to use. You need you need a special set of tools or plugins for your image editing softwares usually to modify this, and then saving it can be a bit of a hassle. I'm not going to go over DDS today. Today we're going to use TJ, and I might do DDS and HDR later at some point. So let's go ahead and export this texture with TJ and open it in some sort of image editing software. In my case, I will use Photoshop. Alright, so inside Photoshop, let's find the different channels. I'm now just gonna make this into a simple purple texture. Change the whole color hue. Let's see. I could use the color it completely, but I'm just gonna make it like this. So yeah, simple as that. And now I'm gonna save it as a copy and replace the original 52-bit pixel. Now back on Frosty editor, we click on 0, import, and now try to find the file and import it back. And we have successfully replaced the texture. It's as easy as that. Now, as you can see, it's also the text here on the file is changed to bold and has a star because we haven't saved these changes yet. I'm going to save the project already. And I'm going to go ahead and do this for the other parts of the suit as well, only the zeros, the base textures. Alright, so now I've went ahead and replaced all 4 textures. And that's it. Unfortunately, we cannot preview how the textures look like on the model. If we go inside the parts right here in this folder, we can see these meshes, right? Skin the mesh assets. I can, for example, open the core, which would be Isaac's waist, I believe. Yeah. I'm not really sure why, but in this editor for Dead Space Remake, I've really tried everything. It just refuses to show the textures. I'm not sure why. I've tried everything. Maybe this can be fixed somehow. Even extract materials, but yeah, it just doesn't work. So either way, in the next part of the series, we're going to be going over how to compile the mod, install, and also how to uninstall mods.